sometimes in the world of sports, you get the crossover moments where it's not just a sports moment, but it's a human moment. And Bobby, I don't know if you saw this last night, but in Portland, Maurice Cheeks was there as part of the New York Knicks. And
I literally just saw it.
oh, you did just see that? Yeah, I saw it as it happened last night. And it was a number of years ago, a young girl was going to sing the national anthem, and she forgot the words.
I can't believe that was 22 years ago.
Oh my goodness, it was. Yeah, I can't either. And I don't think Maurice Cheeks got another head coaching job after that, after Portland either. I know he's helped out with some teams, but
yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's been an assistant coach for every team in the league.
It seems that way.
It seems like every time another team comes to town, he's an assistant coach. I thought he was with the Bulls, and now he's with Oklahoma City.
He wasn't with the Knicks?
When? Last night?
Last night.
No, he's with the that wasn't from last night, I don't think.
Oh, I thought it was from last night that they showed that the girl. Yeah, that the girl came out 22 years later and sang the anthem. That was.
I saw it on the news.
We'll get all the particulars, and we'll get into all the things that the Eagles have done. What's coming up with the Phillies? We'll do it right after the short.
You're right. He's with the Knicks. You're right.
Yeah, he's an assistant with the Knicks. Well, as you say, he's an assistant with every team. Or he's
it
been
looks
around.
like the Thunder in the background. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at iSports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, before I forget, I did want to mention that apparently the Phillies in Citizens Bank Park, they have gotten rid of the bell in the outfield. They've given it to Christopher because, I mean, he wins.
They've given it to Christopher.
Christopher Bell, all he does is win.
Oh, God.
It's a joke. I apologize.
I know it was a joke, but I had to get it. I'm thinking Christopher Sanchez. I'm like, what? Did he win a spring training game or something?
Well, apparently he's done really well in spring training.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we've, we come around, right? Once we're wrong. I mean, the guy's not bad.
I just want to see him on the road this year. I mean,
yeah.
He's
really comfortable at home. They can try to do it so he always pitches at home.
Well, if they're going to pitch Taiwan Walker and try to work him in, that's possible.
Yeah. So another week's gone by, and I still don't have an Andrew Painter sighting.
No.
Like, where is he? Is he on the team? Is he? They have him in storage somewhere in bubble wrap. I mean,
well, the only thing I saw on social media was pictures of him throwing on the side. But Bobby, you and I throw on the side.
I can't even find any news on the guy. Last time he pitched was in the Arizona Fall League. There's nothing. Yeah, it says is he's eliminated his cutter from his repertoire, and it's added a changeup as his fourth pitch.
Well, with all the attention that Cole Hamels is getting as being part of the announced team and being at spring training, maybe he's helped him with the changeup. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he is left-handed and he's right-handed. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
yeah, it probably does. I don't know. Is it a situation? It's not a money situation. I don't think with the Phillies not wanting.
Nah, not anymore. I mean, back in the day it was. They didn't want to start the clock on these guys. I think with him it's just more of a workload thing, and they don't want to have him throw too much. But I've always been a believer that the only way to make your arm stronger is to use it.
Yeah, and not that I'm a fan of the New York Yankees, but bringing up Andrew Painter, I mean, you look at the injury now to Garrett Cole. I mean, that's just not good for baseball when one of the top pitchers goes out like that.
No.
What I had just read was apparently the surgery went well, and there must be some leeway in the surgery. I didn't get the total understanding of what they were talking about. Maybe the staff can run it across the line or something, but they were able to do something in the procedure that could get him back sooner than later, which I doubt it would be this season though. Yeah, you would also have to think too with some of these surgeries. I mean, they figure out ways to get guys back relatively quick. I mean, we saw that with Bryce Harper when he needed the surgery. I mean, he seemed to come back in no time.
Yeah, I mean, he was a quick healer. I mean, he got back in record time.
Yeah, the worst for him is when he was hit by Blake Snell. I mean, a bone having to heal is a lot. It was different.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he's healthy this year. You know, we really haven't had a fully healthy Bryce Harper in a while. Now, I don't think you're ever going to see the power from him, like you saw in the past. I just think he's just 20 to 30 home run hitter. And,
yeah, you're not going to. Yeah, he's not going to be sniffing around 50 home runs.
No, it's just not who he is. He's more of a line drive hitter nowadays. But I mean, he still hits the ball hard, and he's still a threat up there. And the pitchers have to, give him their full attention and throw with all they got against him and focus. I mean, he's still going to be good at probably another 3-4 years, and we'll see where we go from there. But I can say that for most of the Phillies.
What's he have, 9 left?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now they're talking about re-upping Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. At some point, you just have to start getting younger. You can't you can't keep getting re-signing guys in their 30s and expect an injection of youth and energy into a team that's frankly hasn't been able to get the job done.
No, and they had given a lot of money, and deservedly so, to Zach Wheeler last year as well, who once again, I mean, Zach Wheeler's not 24.
Right.
When you say that, though, the initial thing that comes to my mind, okay, Schwarber, do they re-sign him? Well, yes, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Well, yeah, why wouldn't you?
How long, though?
That's the question. And where's he going to bat in the lineup this year? And what impact is that going to have on the team and on what happens going forward?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Thompson seems hell-bent on making him the leadoff hitter and doesn't seem to want to make any changes at all. I mean, we said our opinion. We don't think he's a leadoff hitter. Obviously, he is a leadoff hitter. We don't think he should be a leadoff hitter. I think he should be at least a 4 or 5 spot, and he's an RBI guy. That's where he should be hitting.
There's not many teams who look at their lineup and say, okay, the guy in our lineup who's going to hit the most home runs, we got to lead him off. Because right there to start the game, that's going to put pressure on the pitcher. That's always been their thing. When they see him come up first, yes, he's in scoring position as soon as he steps in the batter's box. We got it. But, okay, how many times is he leading off the game with a home run? Even if it's 10.
Right.
There's 162 games. That's okay.
It's only 10 runs.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And, of course, there's solo home runs.
Right.
I always liked the one time with he did it in one game, and I don't know if it was on ESPN or they talked to him afterwards on the Philadelphia coverage. He said, well, it's always good to start the game off that way and get the first point. And I was like, well, that's interesting to call a run a point.
Wow.
What do you think their lineup's going to be?
Probably a lot of the same. I mean, I think he's committed to Schwarber. It'll go Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Castellanos,
or Bohm.
I know. You could go either way with them, 4 or 5. It's going to be probably Realmuto 6th, Kepler 7th, Marsh 8th. Who did I forget? Stott. Okay, put Stott 7th, Marsh 8th, or maybe Kepler 8th.
I think to start the season, you're going to see Kepler 5 or 6, just to put
really?
Maybe to put that left-hand bat in there. I think JT drops down.
But where did he hit in Minnesota?
Oh boy,
Did he hit 3rd? I mean, he fell out of favor there, right? I mean, they didn't like him. He became their Castellanos.
He did. I think he batted all over the lineup.
Yeah,
at times. Sorry, everyone. We were not up on the Minnesota Twins as we discussed that last week. Yeah, and you're right. I don't know if they'll do that just because they want to put the left-hand bat in there. I mean, it's possible.
Holy crap! I know the answers. How old is Max Kepler? How old do you see him as? I know what you're going to say.
30.
You thought he was that old? I thought he was 27. He's 32.
Oh, I knew he was at least 30, but he's 32?
I know. I didn't know it. No clue he was that old.
They're going to need Walkers and Canes for this team at some point. Because when you look, who's the youngest guy on the team right now? I mean, is it
Marsh or Stott?
Okay? I
Then
wasn't
you got
sure.
Rojas is young,
Rojas.
but how much is he going to play?
Oh boy. Well, with this collection and this age, they better win sometime soon, or else, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean they're like a 2-year window. I mean, it's with Wheeler and Nola getting up there, and yeah, I mean it's a lot of question marks, and it's also a lot of the same guys. So, and the league has them figured out. That's my problem. That's what upsets me come playoff time. The fact that I know that the league knows what to do against these guys, and it's not like it's a secret.
As you've said, and rightly so, I mean, you really don't have to throw many strikes to this team to get them out.
Right.
Um,
I'm looking at Kepler's numbers. 253 last season with a 302 on base percentage. He's just going to be another guy by 30 games in. We'll be saying, why is he on this team? Get him out of here.
He's left-handed Austin Hayes. I mean,
he had one good year. 2019. He had 36 home runs, had 90 RBIs. The rest of his career has been dreadful. 224, 228, 211, 227. What are they doing? A lifetime on base percentage of 318.
You look now, you sit here and you think back. The situation, they've had really, really good starting pitching. They've had a mediocre to less than mediocre bullpen. They've had an offense that can go as cold as whatever you want to fill in the blank there.
Yeah.
And their big offseason signing was that guy.
1 year, $10 million.
Okay, so I guess you put out there, if they're not serious, why should any fan be serious? Because I mean, I think that demonstrates how serious they are.
Yeah, I mean, what sells is the ballpark. The ballpark. It's a nice day out. I mean, it's something to do. It's somewhere to take your kids. It's safe. They have great food there. Great scenery. It's just that's what sells.
Yeah, and getting to see Harper play is always going to be a draw. Yeah. Maybe seeing Schwarber hit one out, that's going to be.
Besides Harper, though, if I'm a fan of baseball, if they take him off this team, and I would only go see Wheeler pitch every 5 days. There's nothing that really makes me want to go to the ballpark.
No, and you would like to think, okay, we're looking at some young guys here who are going to be the future.
Right.
Stott.
I thought he was going to be a star.
Yeah.
Rob Thompson said, "I'm not letting him be."
Yeah, he's not good enough to play against them left-handers.
Right.
Who cares what his average is against them? That doesn't matter.
Right.
Edmundo Sosa needs to be in there.
A career utility guy.
Yeah, he's the guy selling the tickets.
Yeah. And Bohm, I like Bohm. He's not a superstar. He's like that level between, not even star. He's an in-between player. I mean, he's a good baseball player. I'll put it that way, right? I mean, he's a guy that's borderline all-star, so to speak. I mean, he's never going to win an MVP, but he's going to be a good player. I mean, he's a guy you could put out there every day. He'll hit the ball, put the ball in play. I can't complain about him. He doesn't suck.
The only complaint is he's not the greatest defensive third baseman, but when you look at what he brings offensively, I mean, you can live.
He's improved.
You can live, and you're right. He has ever since the classic three. What do you make? 3 errors in a row, or
yeah.
It was like 3 in 2 innings or something, and he really didn't like the place. He really hated Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He really, and you're looking at a situation too where their other big signing recently was Trey Turner, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to see Trey Turner play. I don't care if he's on the field or not. If I go to a game,
He's been a big time disappointment.
last year the one game I got to, it was a Friday night game in May. They beat Washington 4-2, but it was Bryson Stott bobblehead night, but I guess that's irrelevant now. Anybody can have a bobblehead night.
Yeah,
Isn't
I'll get you $5 now.
Is it Larry or is it Taryn who are working on our bobbleheads that are supposed to be coming out soon? Yeah, and okay, Brandon Marsh. Yeah, I mean he doesn't do it for you. I mean, what you wanted to see and what you really were hoping for. And look, you're going to see it this year too for a little bit. You're going to see a stretch where Schwarber's hot.
Yeah.
Turner's getting on base, getting knocked in. Harper's driving in runs. Castellanos is hitting well. You're going to see a stretch where they're playing well, but then you're also going to see that bad stretch.
And most likely that stretch is going to come in July and August when it's hot.
Yes.
That's the kind of hitters they are. They're not, I guess, cold weather hitters. I don't really know what a cold weather hitter is. I guess somebody that's played in Colorado or San Francisco, I guess they're a cold weather hitter. Barry Bonds, Todd Helton.
Hopefully the weather's nice to start the season. And
yeah, I hope so.
Be able to take care of some business. No, there's not a lot of this in baseball, but there's even that mystique that can get people to the ballpark of if a team is winning late, they're bringing the closer in. I mean, they tried to put on a light show when Kimbrel was there and some different things, but I mean, what they have now, I mean, just let the guy come in. I mean, there's no reason to have music, a light show, or whatever. I mean, that's not going to work.
I haven't heard 2 words about him either.
Well, actually, the fact that he's not injured might be a good thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, you haven't heard anything, so maybe he is.
All right. I haven't heard a word about him. I know the players, they're starting to get 3-4 at-bats now. They're starting to ramp it up and getting mid-season shape and seeing more pitches. I heard that today. Schwarber got 3 at-bats. Harper got 3 at-bats. They're starting to throw the pitchers 3, 4, 5 innings now. I think Ranger Suarez has looked pretty good. That's their strength, I guess, coming this year. Like the Eagles, we thought that their offense was going to be their strength. It ended up being both sides, but Philly's strength's going to be their pitching this year. It's going to keep them in a lot of games. They're going to win. Like we said, they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to win probably between 85 and 90 games. That's not a surprise.
No,
that's what we expect. That's what we expect from these guys. They probably expect more from themselves. I would hope they would. Well, on paper, they're a 100-win team, but they're probably not going to get up there.
No, I think what's going to be an issue, and hopefully it's not. I mean, last week I said I think the bullpen is going to be better this year than last year. Not a high bar. Apparently Alvarado has looked really good. Spring training, okay, it's spring training, but it's better than looking bad. But when you get to a situation where the starter has to come out after 6 or after 5 or midway through the 5th. Okay, you look down there. Strom is, I mean, he has a little shoulder problem, but I guess it's nothing structural, so he'll be okay.
Yeah, what they call it, an impingement?
That sounds painful.
Shoulder impingement.
Whew.
Don't know what that is.
Well, just a good chiropractor will just take that impingement and get it right out of there. But you look to Strom, Kerkering.
Forget about him.
What's that?
Kerkering. I forget about Kerkering. He doesn't even come to mind anymore when I think of. What's that?
He can be forgettable.
Yeah, we thought he was their definite. Remember when we first saw him? He's definitely a future closer. He's great. I don't know what they did to him.
He had those pitches that just seemed to move in an odd way and was throwing them for strikes. Then stopped throwing them for strikes, and his fastball is flat. So, okay, that's what happens.
It's a good combination.
Yeah, and then what I'm saying is you're trying to bridge that gap to Romero, and it's like, oh boy, it's it. I'm hoping they pitch well, but it could get into a situation where, like you said, on paper you might have that 95 win team, and they end up being the 87 win team, or 86, because some of those games get lost late. I don't like the idea of a guy. See, I like better the idea of Alvarado closing if he can throw strikes, which of course we've seen, only because he can throw 101. I don't need a guy coming in throwing 95.
I mean, is it going to be a situation where if the other team has three big lefties coming in, he will go with Alvarado and rotate and go by matchups?
Yeah, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully from what we've seen, Alvarado is the guy who can come in and before you blink, the first two guys have walked.
And I was ready to say that Alvarado, has great success against left-handers. And I think back to the Yordan Alvarez.
Whew.
I still can't believe that happened. I saw that not too long ago.
Well, you think back on that, it's the right move to make, and it's amazing that he hit that home run. The only caveat to it being the right move is you have Zach Wheeler on the mound. I don't know. If Zach Wheeler was pitching well and he wasn't done, so I don't go replace Wheeler with Alvarado. But hey,
that was the same season that Harper hit the home run against the Padres.
And Real Muto hit the game winner in Game 1 in Houston. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was two of the biggest postseason home runs of all time, and within a month of each other, or a week.
And it was also the same season where they got no hit at home in the World Series
by Christian Vasquez, and was it Christian Vasquez? What was his name? Christian. Jeez, almighty! That's how memorable he is. I want to say Vasquez, but it wasn't. Christian Vasquez is like an infielder for the Red Sox.
Was it Framber Valdez?
Javier. No, was it Valdez? No, it was Christian Javier.
Was it? Okay.
And he's a guy you haven't seen since.
I kind of blocked that game out. I know you were at the next one.
Yeah, I went to the next one.
And it all came down to a Brandon Marsh at bat that he struck out on 3 pitches, didn't he?
Well, no, it was that. Like, yeah, that happened. But the big the catch against the wall by Chas McCormick.
Yes, that too.
That I didn't see because it was under me.
No, you thought possibly they could get to I never thought they were going to win it, but it would have just been fun because the old cliche, anything can happen in a Game 7. It would have been just nice to get there.
Yeah. And just like Toronto, same thing. That was Game 6, and they were winning, and Joe Carter hit the home. What is it with the Phillies and big home runs in postseason?
Comes back to get them. I mean, given that, I mean, right there you had a situation though where Mitch Williams was going. I mean, I probably had as much of a chance of getting those guys out, those Hall of Famers out in that inning as he did, because I mean, he was going on fumes at that point. It was that series is still memorable to me. The game they lost at home, what was it, 31-30 or something like that? They lost
15-14, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was just a painful loss. And then it was followed up by a shutout by Schilling. And you were like, all right. And then they're winning Game 6. And, the thing that stands out to me from Game 6 more than, or as much as the Joe Carter home run, was Larry Anderson trying to get through an inning. And he actually did it. But it was like, he could get 2 strikes on a guy and couldn't put him away.
How many outs were there when Carter was up? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
And was it a 2-run home run or a 3-run? Was the game tied, or I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I think somebody was on base.
Yeah, I think so. I think they were up a run.
Yeah.
Molitor, maybe Paul Molitor was on base.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we look at it. What did you make of the moves or the people leaving the Eagles. I mean, there's a lot of people who I think are concerned. And I'm not.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it sucks. It sucks that you win a Super Bowl and you can't come back with the same team because of the way the salary cap is and the way the pay structured. I mean, that's what makes it so hard to repeat in the NFL, or makes it so hard to build a dynasty.
I mean, they've been there. They've been there 2 out of 3 years. They won one where where people made the argument, over the last couple of decades, they've been the greatest team to win a Super Bowl. Okay, this is the way the NFL is. I mean, to me, I have faith in Howie. I mean, I think with guys leaving, some trades or whatever, I mean, they're piling up draft picks, and I mean,
they have 20 draft picks in the next 2 years, so they're going to be young. And I think it's going to come down to who he can draft. If he can draft guys that can immediately step in and start, I think they're going to not lose a stride. I mean, but it's going to be tough. I mean, you have a lot of positions to cover. You have both edges now to cover. I mean, is Brandon Graham going to come back? I don't know. They're going to have to get somebody. I have heard rumors that Micah Parsons is available.
Did they get an edge rusher from the Chiefs? Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
I mean, not a guy who.
I didn't hear his name in the Super Bowl.
When you start naming quality edge rushers, I mean, you're not going to get to him real soon.
No.
Yeah, as long as there's no Jalen Reagors and J.J. Arcega-Whitesides coming through in the draft, and
there's more and more chatter that A.J. Brown's going to be moved.
Yeah, there is.
That'll put a big hurt on the offense.
And Dallas Goedert too.
Yeah. I mean, if they lose him, you'd have to bring in like an Evan Ingram. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand it. Why you have to lose all these guys? Who did they? They didn't really sign anybody. Who they signed? It's Ballin. That's the only big contract they gave. It seems like everybody's contract was up at the same time.
Back up.
How was Milton Williams already gone? See, they just drafted him. Like, why do you lose a guy so early? You should have control over a guy for at least 5 years.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. I mean, Gainwell. I mean, he went to Pittsburgh. I mean, but
A.J. Dillon they picked up today.
Yeah, but why? It always seems like, or at least this time, it seemed like a couple guys they picked up. It's like, well, he was good 3 years ago, but then hurt. I'm like, okay, well, But if this is,
I'm waiting. We're waiting for a big splash. There has to be somebody, right? They have to pick up somebody. Like I said, I've heard Micah Parsons rumors, and maybe who knows? Maybe the Eagles are setting up for one of those. The Dallas likes those 5 draft picks for one player type of moves.
Yeah, maybe it's possible.
Yeah, maybe they could trade. Maybe they could trade a couple, a second rounder and a. The way the NFL is, you think that it's a superstar, you're going to get all these first round picks. Maybe they could trade like a 5th rounder for Micah Parsons. That seems to be the way it goes, right?
Yeah. You never know. I guess if we sat here a year ago and said this is the fallout from winning a Super Bowl, it's like, okay, well, we won the Super Bowl. We'll take the fallout.
Absolutely.
We'll take the fallout and we'll go from there. I'm looking up right now, and sorry, I got to interject something here for the staff real quick. 1 second.
I mean, it seems like, if you ask me right now who in the NFC is better than the Eagles, I can't give you a long list of teams. Maybe the Detroit Lions. That's it.
And Washington, maybe.
I don't know.
Better? I don't know. Better? No. As a possibility? Yeah, other than that.
Maybe. They lost a lot of players, too.
I mean, Washington could be an issue in the division, but no, you're right. Like I said, at this point, the least of my worries is the Philadelphia Eagles. I look up now, the Flyers are 2-2 against Tampa. I mean, anyone out there who wants to make any money tonight, take the Flyers. They will win this game tonight. Bob, you know why the Flyers will win this game tonight. And
it seems like they're always in a tight game the night we have the show.
Seemingly. Same way with the Phillies. It's always going to go extra innings or something.
Yeah.
With the talk and the plans of the Sixers getting another building, and maybe the Flyers doing something as well, revamping the way things look in the sports complex. You look at this building here from when it started, I believe, what was it? First Union Center at one point, or
Core State Center.
Core State's Wachovia's name was on it. I really liked First Union because it was the FU Center. That was perfect. Not a lot of championship games in that. The only thing I can think of is the Flyers made it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Sixers, Lakers.
Yeah, that would have been, and the Flyers take the lead. Ooh, Sixers, Lakers, that's going way back. Yeah.
2001. Right? 2001? Yeah.
Yeah. But there's not going to be a championship in that building. And it's almost now, I mean, it's almost a dirty word to say 76ers. I mean, they're getting themselves in some trouble here because I don't know how it's going to turn out or what's going on with the NBA, but they're looking into the fact that they're sitting guys who should be playing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what's wrong with Maxey, right? I mean, he fell down, big deal. I mean, why is he still out?
And this report, Paul George is seeking out doctors to find out what's wrong with his groin. I mean, it's just like, Bobby, we sat here a year ago and said that was going to be the issue if they get him. We said it, all leading up to it. It's just like this would.
They're done. They're done for the next 3-4 years,
at least,
until they can get out of them Embiid and George.
I mean, you see these reports that come across on social media or NBA sites or whatever. Sixers will look to trade Paul George in the offseason. No kidding, they're going to look.
Yeah,
to trade
really.
To who?
I guess so, right?
What, to who? Like to the Shanghai Sharks or somebody? I mean,
hey, Tyron, thanks for joining us.
Yes, hello everyone who's joined us in the chat. Welcome. I just don't understand that with how that situation came about, given the fact that it was obvious what was going to happen.
I can't imagine it 2 years from now, next year. You almost have to forget about them. Just look at your young players, but they don't even have any young players worth watching.
I guess Jared.
How is that possible? That you have a whole roster and there's nobody with any promise on it?
Jared McCain looked like
that's it. Yeah, he's not playing right now. I mean,
no.
I thought Ricky Council was a decent player, but they see something that they don't like. Obviously, he doesn't get any time. Quentin Grimes is putting up ridiculous numbers. I guess he has NBA talent. He's a guy that you can keep around.
Well, it's reminding me of the process, and he's like that one guy who stands out who has to score every night.
Right.
Him and Oubre. I mean, there's somebody got to score.
At least he has the ability to do it. I mean, he's a guy that he can take the ball to the basket. He has some hops in him, and it seems like he's fearless. He'll go up with anybody. He's putting up numbers. Jared Butler. I mean, he's not just scoring. He's doing everything. I kind of like him.
I mean,
he's a good player in college. Seems like he fell through the cracks.
Yeah, he can knock down that outside shot, and it's interesting. You get to see Bona play a little bit, and I mean, okay, those guys will get their experience, but I mean, is this the backbone of anything positive going forward that you can see?
No, not at all.
And
they just have to clean house. They have to figure out any way they can. I don't care what you get. Maybe they could find another team just in the same boat that we are. I can't think of many players.
My concern with that is who's in charge.
Yeah.
He's a guy who a month and a half ago was telling you if you squint real hard, you can see a championship. Yeah, okay.
But look what happened. Look what happened with the Rockets. Daryl Morey basically cleaned out the Rockets roster to make it what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
He took all their older guys so they could be young.
That's true. That's true.
There you go. Ralph's going to be in Lancaster next week.
Oh, cool.
He said, "Are you guys close?" Well, I'm not.
I'm the one that's close. 15 minutes from Lancaster.
Yeah.
What are you coming up to Lancaster for, Ralph? I think you mentioned it before. It might have been a tournament game or something.
Yeah, the NCAA.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't think he was specific about whether it was NCAA or not. He said it's going to be Wednesday. Okay, next Wednesday.
Huh.
Yeah, it's sad because, like I said last night, I was watching NBA. I mean, that was an it was an interesting game between the Knicks and the Blazers. It went to overtime. There's just nothing. I mean, the Sixers lost last night to Toronto, but what
Even Toronto had nobody going. They had a guy Jared Roden, who I saw. He played for Texas.
Bobby, I'll tell you what. I looked at that starting lineup for both teams, and I'm like,
I know.
Look. I mean, no Paul George, no Maxey, no Embiid. There was no Scotty Barnes. There was no R.J. Barrett. There was no Emmanuel Quickly. It was just like,
I never heard of half of those guys. Xavier Robinson or something.
No,
where are they getting these players?
I didn't either, and I was just like, wow. And then I just saw now that De'Aaron Fox is out for the season.
Yeah,
with an injury.
He had like 32 points last night too, and he's out for the year.
Has that pinky injury, but then it always seems that the Spurs are they always have like that process that they're going through as well. I mean, it's too bad Wembanyama got hurt as well. I mean, they think going forward that combination of him and Fox can be something, and they have some good young talent there. But no, it's just amazing to see all the guys that they're possibly out, from Kyrie Irving to Anthony Davis and Embiid. These guys just, even Brunson's hurt. LeBron's hurt.
I know. Amen. Thompson's hurt.
He is. Well, that injury to Brunson, I saw it, and if he's back in 2 weeks, that's going to be amazing, because the way he landed on his ankle, wow.
Said he's coming out there to meet a friend who's having a tournament party, NCAA opening day tournament.
Oh, cool.
Are you anywhere near Ephrata?
25 minutes.
Okay, I was talking to a buddy today. Said he's going to work there.
Yeah, I've back years ago when my brother and I coached Legion baseball, when my brother's two boys played. We coached it for 3 years, and the main place where the games took place were in Ephrata. They have a really nice AstroTurf field.
Wow.
I'll tell you a little story. There was always a sign or signs all over the field that said no sunflower seeds. Because I guess if you spit the shells into the AstroTurf, I guess that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Starts to smell probably. And
I caused a lot of problems because I had seeds in my mouth. I went to coach first base. I took a cup. I'm spitting into a cup. Well,
and he didn't make every shot, I'm sure.
That apparently wasn't allowed either. And I'm like, well, who's coming to remove me?
The field police.
I mean, the Biggs dill pickle sunflower seeds. I mean, if you're coaching a game, no, and we had some good times there, and there was one memory from my youngest nephew, Andrew. He slid into second base to break up a double play, and it's AstroTurf, and I don't know what happened here or whatever, but this turf was as slick as could be. He slid, and then he hit into the leg of another player, and they had to get an ambulance to take him off the field.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to say they had an amputee.
No, no, and I forget what was the damage. But he didn't break his leg. There was more, some ligament damage or whatever. And it was just I remember watching the play, standing there from coaching first base, and it was like, okay, well, this is a simple 6-4-3, but I know Andrew's going to try to break it up. And it looked like he slid right across ice into this guy. And then, of course, the way everything happens, they think it's a dirty play.
Yeah.
But no, that's Ephrata.
Okay.
Not too far from me.
Nice. Flyers minute. Boo.
Ooh, I mean, they've lost, I guess, 5 in a row. They can't score on the power play, but they're winning tonight. They're beating the Lightning 3-2. Going into the third period, it doesn't shock me. That's it for the Flyers minute.
Boo. You suck.
So I do have a top 10 for tonight.
All right. I watched a movie. Last night and today. I watched it at work, carried over. It's called Trap. You watch? It's big. Everybody's talking about it.
Trap.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. We often talk about his movies.
Yes,
and how the endings are always leave you hanging. It's about a guy. What's his name? Josh Hartnett, who brings his daughter to a concert, like a pop star concert, and basically the whole concert is a dragnet to catch a serial killer. I'll leave it at that. It's pretty good.
Reminds me of, if you're talking about a concert, one of my all-time favorite novels is by Stephen King. It's called Mr. Mercedes, and they actually made it into a television series. It's called the Bill Hodges trilogy. Who's an older retired police detective. It's more about him. But in the first one, the way it starts, there's an early morning lineup for people. People are lining up for a job fair, and this guy Brady Hartsfield, he steals a Mercedes and drives it through the lineup, killing a bunch of people. And he goes back and forth writing letters, tempting this Bill Hodges, this retired detective, trying to bait him into doing things. Anyway, when you said with the concert, it just flashed in my head because at the end, he's planning on blowing up a concert, Brady Hartsfield. So he has all the equipment, everything on him. But one of Bill's persons who he has working with him, named Holly Gibney, ends up taking him out. She has a roll of coins in a sock. So taking him out with that. But when you said concert, that kind of flashed.
Well, to me, it's even better that the concert is that the name of the artist is Lady Raven, and she is played by none other than M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Oh wow!
So it almost seems like he's made the whole movie for her to become a pop star.
It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Ralph said, do either of us have a Phillies breakout player this year? Thanks, you guys rule. We talked about that earlier in the show, how no, they're really not in position to have a breakout player because there's no one young on the team that is unproven and we don't know what to expect from. So I wish I could say yes, but unless they bring Aiden Miller or Andrew Painter up, I don't think you're going to see that breakout player.
No, and what we talked about last week too is not so much a breakout player because he was an all-star last year, but we talked earlier, Christopher Sanchez, is the guy who we think is going to be continuing on with what he's done, and hopefully becomes one of the more dominant pitchers in baseball.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think there's someone coming up that can
not on the offensive side of the field.
Mm-mm. I mean, if you look, you could say maybe Kerkering, but
yeah,
I don't even know about that.
Right.
Cool. I guess next week we'll do the predictions and everything for Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I have one top 10 just to close out the show.
Okay.
And we kind of done something like this before. But the way I did it this time was I made the list, just sat down, put 10 guys on the list who came to mind. Current NBA players who will be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Top 10 current NBA players who one day will be in the Hall of Fame. And
Okay.
like I said, you'll see how my mind went, and we'll see how yours goes.
There's no particular order, right? It's just 10.
No. It was just the 10 that came to my mind in this order.
Okay. LeBron James,
Yeah, obviously number 1.
Jason Tatum.
He's 10 on my list.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but I'm just saying that he came in 10th in my mind. So.
Okay. So LeBron. Go with Chris Paul.
And I don't have him on the list, and he'll be in.
Yeah.
He'll be in,
Um.
and that's why we do this.
Yeah.
He'll be in for sure.
I don't know that Jaylen Brown is yet there.
I don't have him on the list. I don't.
Steph Curry, obviously.
2.
Kawhi Leonard, is he a Hall of Famer?
Wow, that's I thought about that too, because when you get number 3, it made me think of him, and I don't have him on my list.
I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's done it for long enough. James Harden's obviously number 3.
Obviously. Yeah, wow, that's a good question. Because I thought about it too. Is if he's healthy enough and can play another 4 or 5 years, yeah, then he will be.
Right. Just think here. Hasn't been a lot of guys around for that long. Damian Lillard
He is on the list at number 6.
and his teammate Giannis.
Number 7.
2 guys in the Hall of Fame that are on the same team that probably won't win a title together. He's won one without him.
How are they doing tonight against the LeBronless Lakers? Let me check here quick. Number 4. Come on, you can get number 4. I know he's a forgotten man where he is and what's going on, but
Anthony Davis,
not on the list. From the University of Texas.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it amazing how he
is. He gets no respect, even in the card market. He's like not even thought of.
Do you have a reason why?
I don't know. Maybe because of his personality and his he's not an exciting guy.
And the 2 championships he got, he just essentially went to a winner.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Bucks are leading the Lakers 71-63 at the half, according. Thanks, courtesy of Tom. Thank you.
I have 3 more on the list. I have number 5, 8, and 9.
I guess Jokic.
Number 9.
Amazingly,
I put 8 guys before I thought of putting him.
Luka.
No.
What are you kidding me?
I mean, I agree with you.
He's guaranteed.
Okay. Argument is the top 10. See if he's better than these next 2. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And you can tell me, okay, well, he should be there instead of 8 and 5. Okay, that's perfectly fine. It's why we do this.
I mean, he's definitely going to get in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it.
I agree.
Shai Gilgeous,
another guy who will probably, if he plays long enough, obviously will be. But I don't have him on my list either.
Tobias Harris, obviously.
Yes, yeah, of course. No, he's not on my list, but where
First
he ranks?
ballot.
What's that?
First ballot, Tobias Harris.
Where he ranks, probably.
Jimmy Butler?
I don't have him either.
He's a question mark. He's a borderliner.
He is. That's a good question, too. I have a Dallas Maverick on the list and a current Denver Nugget on the list.
Another Denver Nugget?
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's definite.
He is. And given the way he's bounced around and been a bench player for, it seems like 5 years now.
Mm-hmm. And there's two other guys that you're probably not getting that are a lot of people say will be, and it's Klay Thompson and Draymond Green.
Yeah, those 2 guys I thought about.
Wait, who'd you say? Denver Nugget and what? Who was the other?
A Dallas Maverick.
Dallas Maverick. Klay Thompson.
No, but arguably.
Well, I said Anthony Davis.
There's one more.
What the heck? Must be hurt.
He is.
Who the heck's on their bench that's hurt? Jeez. What am I missing here?
Well, he made a big shot to help LeBron win a championship in Cleveland.
Oh, geez, Kyrie Irving. My God.
Yeah. But that's what happens with you. You're right. These guys, I mean, when they're not
They change
playing,
teams so often, yeah.
yeah, and they're injured. So I see a close up of Glenn Rivers. He just looks. It's weird seeing him, but no, you're right. There is other guys who will probably be there. I mean, you could argue if he's healthy enough, Karl Anthony Towns could make it. You could argue Brunson at some point could be in the Hall of Fame.
Donovan Mitchell, he's going to play a long time and score a lot of points.
Yeah, another guy who could. I mean,
he's doing a lot of winning too.
Trae Young.
I thought of him.
Yeah, I mean, but as I went through to make the list, I'll give it to you real quick because we went back and forth. LeBron, Steph, Harden, KD, Westbrook, Dame, Giannis, Kyrie, Jokic, and Tatum. And like you said,
yeah,
it's interesting to.
You got to have Luka on the list.
I could have Luka instead of Kyrie.
The argument that I've heard for Luka is that the Hall of Fame is not the NBA Hall of Fame. So he was great in international play even before he came over. So basically, he's been playing at a high level for like 14 years already. So
true.
And when you look at basketball, he's a Hall of Famer.
It's like last year or 2 years ago when I visited the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
And there's the XFL.
Right, because it's called the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Correct, and I had to think about that for a second. And by the way, if anybody out there gets a chance to go, I mean, it's a good experience. I mean, I know maybe I think the $40+ to get in, but there's a lot to take in there and a lot to see. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Sitting behind the original Madden Cruiser that had almost 700,000 miles on it.
Wow.
With the kitchen, the sleeping quarters, it was interesting to see the televisions with the VCRs hooked up to it.
Oh, they left everything inside, huh?
Yeah.
They bought it from them, I'm sure.
I don't know if it was just there at the time I went, or if it's a permanent fixture at
I think we missed one. Missed the Hall of Famer. I had a look. He's played for the Chicago Bulls, San Antonio Spurs. A forward that takes a lot of 2-pointers. Initials are DD. And he played for Toronto too, DeMar DeRozan.
Who's currently on the Kings, yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer. He has 25,000 career points.
Yeah, he does. You're right. I had to think about that. I mean, he didn't come to mind right away because when you went to the Spurs, I was forgetting about his time there. But isn't it weird too that the Kings ended up with him and Levine after?
Yeah,
because they didn't go there. They didn't go there all in one deal.
All right.
Which by the way, a preview. The Kings will be playing the Warriors coming up.
Okay.
No, you're right. When you look at the Warriors, though, you look, like we said, Steph, absolutely. Draymond Green, possibly. Jimmy Butler, possibly. You have the Thompson connection where, yeah, possibly. I mean, KD, who was there, who's still playing. Wow. They put together a good dynasty out there.
Mm-hmm.
Andre.
Yeah, it's funny. I joked about Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris only has 160 less points in his career than Jimmy Butler. They have the same exact stats. And with Jimmy Butler's injury history, and I think Harris may be he may score more points than him.
And we'll get to watch Tobias Harris in the playoffs this year and see how he contributes.
Yeah.
We know how he's contributed when he was with the Sixers.
How about Drew Holiday? Drew Holiday might be. He's won what, two championships?
Well, and arguably, I would think we had this discussion before too. Al Horford.
Al Horford played a lot of games. He's 178th all time. Not that I'm not saying points are the only thing that matters, but doesn't hurt. CJ McCollum's up there. Devin Booker. Devin Booker's already 130th all time. He's relatively young.
Wow, that
15,000.
is, I hadn't looked at that list in a long time. That's shocking to me.
Yeah. Bradley Beal, 107th all time. Brooke Lopez, 102nd.
So there's 3 future Hall of Famers on the Suns, and they're irrelevant.
Yeah. It's crazy. It really is. Guys can't play together. And you have one on the Sixers. We hate him. We hate his guts. Paul George.
Yeah.
76th all time.
Well, he was really good in Indiana.
Yeah.
And you put this list together and there's 2 centers?
Yeah.
If you throw Anthony Davis in the list?
Yeah.
There's 3 because with Giannis is a center, right?
Nah, he's a forward.
Forward, yeah. I mean, Jokic is the only center I had on. It's just how much the game changed.
Yeah. Embiid has no shot. I mean, he'd have to play. He has to come back and be healthy. 3 more years, 4 more years.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
No, it's not. Well, he got the medal for the United States, so that he can be in for that, Yeah, when you talk about Hall of Fames, it's interesting because we had a discussion before, and some people had brought it up yesterday. The question was, is Bobby Abreu a Hall of Famer? In my mind, he is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I think so, and I think he'll probably end up being one of those guys that gets in by the Veterans Committee when he's 65, 70 years old, and people are like, "Who's Bobby Abreu?"
It's not his fault that he played with that direct that the Phillies ran out there every year.
Right.
I mean, he still contributed.
Right. Hey, Steve Carlton never played on a good team except for 1980, and he's in.
Yeah, 80 and 83.
83.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, but then
Mike Schmidt too. Mike Schmidt. They were bad a lot of those years.
Yeah, they were. They were really bad. And yeah, so I mean, we'll probably talk about Hall of Fame some more. I mean, maybe with NFL players, or even if you think current NHL players and all who could get in. But no, I just thought it was interesting list to come up with.
Absolutely.
Next week we'll be closer to the start of baseball. There's not going to be anything really to talk about Flyers and Sixers. We covered it all tonight. Maybe the Eagles sign somebody.
I'm sure they will.
Yep. I think they will as well. And yeah, we'll go over what we think is going to happen in Major League Baseball. Who's going to win the divisions, and we'll pick a World Series winner. And I'm going to give you a spoiler alert here about that. I'm not picking the Mariners this year.
I don't know who I'm picking. I'll have to do some thinking.
I have it down to 2 teams, and probably going to go with the one team, because if I pick the other, it's like, oh, well, isn't that obvious? So
yeah, the American League's tough for me. I know who we're going to take for the National, but the American League, I'm going to have to do some digging, some research.
And the hit that the Yankees have taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Stanton's injured as well.
Yeah.
But hey, that's why they play 162. It's a long season. Anything can happen.
You got it. Check us out at Bobby Cash 215.
Chris Amos 717. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. We will be back next week, Thursday night, 8:00, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris. Good night, everyone.
Good night.